Successful Minds with Patricia Barnowski-Schneider, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet. Hear their stories and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Successful Minds with Patricia Barnowski-Schneider is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Patricia Barnowski-Schneider.
Hey, are you looking to scale your business from 5 figures to 6 figures or 6 figures to 7 figures? If you are, I have the perfect thing for you. What I want you to do today is I want you to go download a book. This book is going to take you through my 3-pillar system. It's 100% free. All you have to do is go to growfast.cash. I say again, go to growfast.cash and you're going to be able to download my free international best-selling book, which is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. You can take that book. It's going to help you scale your business to the next level. Again, go download it. Be good, be brief, be gone. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome back to Successful Minds. I'm your host, Patty Baranowski-Schneider. Today I'm joined by Kale Sudhoff and Allie Gray. Kale Sudhoff is a 19-year-old accomplished author and illustrator renowned for his impactful children's books. And Allie Gray is Miss Ohio's Teen 2024 and former Miss Lake Festival's team. So now they have an amazing story. They created a nonprofit organization called Silent Opportunities to raise awareness for the hearing loss and deaf community. So it's such an impressive venture for the 2 young adults, but I'll leave it to them to tell you more. So welcome, both of you. You want to tell us a little bit more about yourself and what's going on?
Yeah.
Sure, of course. All right. You want me to start?
Yeah, you can start.
As you said, I'm an author and illustrator for children's books. I love writing for those with what we call exceptionalities, which is kids that find some things to be extremely difficult that others might find, let's say, easy. And so I just really wanted to bring the point home that you can do things your own way. You don't have to do things by the book, just how everybody else does it, and you can be great at it still. I've published 3 books, and I was working on a 4th book, which is called Born to Stand Out. It is what we call a mission book, which targets a certain group of people that are sometimes overlooked. And this one was for those in the deaf community. And I saw this post about Allie on Facebook, and we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I contacted her for her to look at my work and see if there was anything that could be made better, anything that could help me better represent this community. And that's how I sort of met her. So
Nice.
And I am currently Miss Ohio's Teen. So I do have a platform, and behind that platform is my personal community service initiative, Be Real, Not Perfect. Behind this, I really want to stress to people that they can be themselves and they don't have to hide behind anything that they feel defines them. I am in pageantry, and there's often a lot of controversy to that with people being perfect and all this, blah, blah, blah. But I want the young girls and young people to look up to me and be like, she's being real. She's not putting filters over her pictures or being someone she's not. So that's been really important to me. And like Kale says, we'll get to something. He reached out because he had saw I did sign language. And with pageantry, I had to come up with the talent. And I have known sign language since a really little age. So I did it to a song. And he saw a post about it, and he reached out to me, and we started working together for the deaf community. But again, we're both really trying to reach any community that feels they're outcasted in a way. I think that's really important. Yes, we're pinpointing the deaf community, but there's so many other people out there that could use our help and our voice as well. So we've just been starting to work together. We've been trying to come up with some fundraisers we'll talk about shortly. So it's really been an awesome ride, and it's still super new, but we're so excited to get started with everything.
Oh, that's awesome. And I like how you say there's no one way to do things. Like I forget, I saw something like online, it was like way to do math. And even though it's not the way that I was taught how to do it, your answer's still the same. So it's like people have to get at it. You have some of the old school people who are so set in their ways. This is how it's done. Doesn't mean that that's how it is. People can do their own. Like I just got into a little spat with my husband the other day. I'm trying to park one way. And he's like, "Oh, do this." And then at the end of the day, I'm like, "But that looks horrible." He's like, "Well, you were going. Let me do it my way. Stay in your lane. I know what I'm doing." So I get it, and I love the fact that you're telling people it's okay to be different, because nowadays, I'm sure in the pageant world, the social media doesn't help, and the media in general, about being perfect. And nobody's perfect. I don't care who you are. No one is perfect. And that's okay. And people don't know what goes on behind closed doors. They just see on the surface, maybe you have your eyebrows a little off, or who cares? Your hair's sticking up. So what? It's so I think what you guys are doing is amazing. So you all have my support. Now, I guess, tell us a little bit more about inspiration behind Silent Opportunities and how the idea come to life.
Okay. So when me and Allie first met and we were talking about my book and everything, we realized that sort of our morals and values sort of aligned together. We were interested in a lot of the same stuff and trying to make a difference, and we just thought we could do more. And when we donate, we don't really want to donate to like a national thing. We really want to keep it close to home, for areas that are just not generally looked at for helping in this sort of area. And yeah, we just really want to bring more opportunities to those closer around our community, and just spread the love.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and it's I love the sign language thing, because people just assume, oh, they were born deaf. I have a nonverbal autistic grandson. Perfect opportunity to learn sign language. And I know somebody else who's an adult, was never deaf before, but just had some accident, and now she is. And it's like an amazing thing, and it's like something that not many people know. So it's very unique, and it helps so many different people. So I guess I'll start with Allie. Like, how was your experience as Miss Ohio's teen influence your advocacy for the deaf community? And how does it intersect with your community service initiative, Being Real, Not Perfect?
Yes. So I would love to speak on this. So starting as Miss Lake Festival's Teen 2024, I had a smaller platform in my small town community. I didn't really have the megaphone of a voice that I needed to get my platform out there. I kind of joined because I wanted to push myself, and I wanted to make a difference. I felt like I had a lot to offer, but I just didn't have the voice to do so. So that's where pageantry kind of all started for me. And I did have to come up with a community service initiative, which was Be Real, Not Perfect. And some people closest to me, they'll be like, Allie, I cannot believe you're Miss Ohio's teen, because sometimes when they're around me, they just don't see that whole pageantry side, because again, there are so many misconceptions about it. Right. So I love that people can see me and be like, that's Allie. Or people can joke around with me, even when I'm wearing my crown and sash, and be like, that's Allie. So I really wanted to carry that through this whole journey. And each time I've told my parents, I said, I do not care what title I win. I will still always be Allie. And that's what I want to stress. I'm not going to let anything change me or morph me into a toned down version of myself. I feel like I can bring a lot to the table when it comes to that. So with Be Real, Not Perfect, I have really just taken that and shown that to so many other people. A big part of my platform is through social media. That is a huge thing nowadays. And instead of being a negative platform, I really want to stress that into something positive. I do no filters on any of my pictures. And I stress that when I'm with a photographer, I let them know, if you do edit, I will call it out on social media.
That's awesome.
Because I'm just not a fan. Because when I was a little girl, I would always look at these pictures and be like, oh, she's so pretty, so beautiful. I wish I looked like that. And now coming to realize and being older, not a lot of it is true. There are filters everywhere. There's Photoshop everywhere. So I think when girls look at my page, they can see that I'm being real and that it is taking me a long way. So they can do the same. And as Miss Ohio's teen, I have gotten a huge megaphone for a voice. Now I stress to so many more people, not just my small town, which has been amazing. And with Kale and the deaf community, I've really started to push my platform. A lot of my platform started as just being confident in who you are, no matter. It was a really broadened version of this, and I still do want to keep it broad. But with Kale, I loved how he has taken time with me, and we've worked on a community that I hold so close to my heart because I didn't have anyone deaf in my family. I wasn't deaf myself, but I wanted to learn sign language, and that's taken me so far. And I truly believe God gave it to me as a gift to learn, and He is taking this so far. And I will be competing on the Miss America stage in January, and I will actually be doing sign language.
That's
So
awesome.
I will be speaking for a whole community and taking my hometown there with me. So that'll be exciting, and I'm glad I just get to showcase all of this through being Miss Ohio's teen.
That's awesome. And I remember mentioning with Kale the last time how it's so important to kind of teach and educate the kids at such a young age. Because like even back in my day, I remember saying I went to Catholic school and you were just instilled in your head, you know, if you got a 95, it wasn't good enough. You should have got 100, you know, and all of this, they were really super strict, but you have this in your head that I'm just not perfect. I can't always get 100, you know, and then social media and friends and bullying and all that, you know, especially in the modeling days. I mean, how many people, anorexia, you know, that's just not life. And most people, the parents are too busy. They're working, they're cooking, they're cleaning, you know, nobody has time to sit here and really educate the kids. So instilling this in their head from a young age, saying it's okay to be different. Nobody's perfect. I don't care what you see on the media, what you see on the magazine, you know, and really letting them know that it's okay. You know, I think that's such a huge, huge thing. And, you know, if it can happen at home, we have you two now. So that's awesome. Now we'll go to Kale. So now your book, Born a Standout, it's a beautiful way to bring awareness to the deaf and hearing loss community. So what inspired you to create the story, and how do you hope it'll impact young readers?
Okay. So I've always felt drawn to write for those with exceptionalities. I actually have encountered some in the deaf community. There was one young man that I grew up with named Roman. He was in a few of my classes, and I'd see him communicating with his interpreter, and I just really never understood what they were saying. I was always curious about it, and I thought that would be really cool to actually be able to communicate with him too. I thought that he probably felt alienated from the class, not being able to communicate with those who didn't know sign language. So I always want to strive towards the idea of inclusion and to make everyone feel welcome, no matter where they're at, no matter what their circumstances. And yep, I believe I said this on our last video, but I was born with a stutter. I know how it feels to just be excluded for being different. And yep, I just really want to strive towards inclusion. I think this is going to benefit at least those around our community a lot through this book, and I hope that it could benefit the world maybe someday. And yep, I just really want to show kids that God made them just how they were meant to be for this exact time, for this exact purpose, and their circumstances don't define them, and God's glory can be shown through them overcoming their circumstances.
You guys should run for president. I mean, it's just so amazing. I mean, everything that you're saying, it's like, I always keep saying the world is going down the toilet. It's like, if more people realize that it's okay, we're all different, blah, 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 you know, and just stop picking on people and labeling people. It's like, it's not necessary. Everybody is unique in their own special way. And like even with my grandson, he might not be normal to certain people, but he's got so many other skills that because we don't understand it doesn't make it wrong. You know, it's just people, yeah, but that's a whole other rant. So I guess tell us, what challenges have you both faced in starting and growing Silent Opportunities, and how have you overcome them?
So I can start a little bit and then he'll add on. But one challenge, I think we both are coming into this. We don't have, we have people around us helping us, but I think we're both going into this kind of blindly. We don't really know what to expect out of it. And I think the best part is me and Kale, we know everything we get, and another step forward is just a blessing. I think we've talked with people and they're like, what's your end goal? Like, where are you gonna hope you end up, and where's your stopping point, stuff like that. We don't have one. We're just, everything we get is such a blessing, and another life we can change. That's really all that matters to us. So I feel like a challenge is kind of just stressing that and making sure that we're staying with our values. And it's good to have advice from other people, but I think really staying true to why we created silent opportunities is a really big factor. But I think funding too. Funding's definitely been a little bit difficult, but I think that's something we're growing on through fundraisers and stuff we have planned, and that'll all come with time. But those are two big ones for me, I feel like.
Okay. With the funding part, these fundraisers and stuff really can't happen without support of others. And we really support everything that we can. We really appreciate everything that we can get and all the support. On our website, I believe you have our website, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. In there's a tab for fundraising. You can click that and go to our GoFundMe, and it's really easy to donate. We've got a fundraiser coming up on September 14th. This video will probably air after that, but
we might be able to fix that, but yes.
We did have a few challenges with creating this fundraiser, just all the calls and stuff we had to make to try and organize this. And just we're both really new to like the business world and everything that we have to navigate through that. So that's probably been one of my biggest challenges that I've experienced. But we're getting better with each and every day, each and every encounter that we have. So we're figuring things out.
Yeah, I mean, again, the business world, it can be a whole big fiasco on its own. So once you start growing, it's going to reach a point where you're going to have to outsource some stuff, just whether it be family, friends, whatever, but you can't do it all. But I like what you said about people always questioning. It's different if you're a business, a company, and you're creating, clothing or restaurant or whatever the case may be, and your goal is to make this money and do this and have an yours is different. You're doing something you love. You're doing something you're passionate about. You want to help people. So it's a little different. So when people are asking you, what's your end goal, blah, 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 you just want to help people. Nothing wrong with that. And people, it's just an odd concept in today's world because everybody's doing something for something. Everybody wants to make money or something. So, it's a hard concept for people to understand, but that's why I'm glad that you're speaking about it and saying, all we want to do is help people, and obviously, it's going to cost money the bigger you get, to help continue it. But, I think you're going to meet the right people who are going to say, you know what, this is something that I'm passionate about and I want to advocate with you. And they're going to help, which is, huge. But yeah, so great stuff. Now, I guess, Allie, your talent in the Miss America's Teen Pageant, it's sign language. So how'd you develop the skill and what message do you hope to convey through your performance?
Yes. So this is kind of a long story, but I'll try and sum it up a little bit. So I actually learned sign language in third grade. Kale had talked about how he knew a kid Roman in his class that had done sign language and had an interpreter. Okay. That same kid was actually in my church at the time. And in third grade, I would always catch my eyes going to, so his mom signed for him. His mom was his interpreter. And my eyes would always go to them in church. I'd want to understand what they were saying. I just thought it was cool how they were using their hands to talk. Right. And they could so well understand it. And they were both so good at it. A lot of people didn't communicate with him at all. Of course, not a lot of people know sign language. So I just thought, you know what? I know there's other people out there. I would love to be able to communicate with them. Right. So that kind of piqued my interest in third grade. And she actually interpreted at my elementary school at the time. So I had asked her if she would take a couple recesses just to teach me some basic sign language. And she was more than willing. But those couple recesses, I actually had a couple friends tag along with me as well. But those couple recesses turned into every recess up until sixth grade.
Wow, that's awesome.
We did talent shows, we did game days, we dedicated songs to people. So we really showcased a new thing that we all had enjoyed to so many people, and all of them were young. We were third up till sixth grade. So it was really cool to introduce that to so many young people. Right. And the coolest thing I think we did within that time was in sixth grade. At the beginning of the year, we had all decided, so it was me and two other friends and my teacher that had taught us sign language. we had all decided, you know what, we're gonna make a sign language club.
Wow.
So in sixth grade, yeah, we had about 20 people, which our school's pretty small, so we were lucky to have 20 people. But they had all joined, and it was super fun. We did a big talent show with all of us, so it was really, really cool and fun. But after sixth grade, I had transferred over to middle school, of course, and it was in a different building. So I had lost sign language a little bit. My interpreter didn't follow to the middle school, which was hard. So I kind of just lost it. There wasn't anyone I was communicating with that was deaf or understood sign language. That was hard, but I knew I had a gift with it, but I just felt like I couldn't use it. And sign language was one of those things that you have to keep up with, just like every other language, or else you're going to lose it.
Right.
So freshman year of high school, I tried Spanish for a foreign language because that's all my high school had offered. That didn't go over too well. It was really hard for me to pick up. I just felt like it wasn't natural for me, like sign language was. But I did start being a College Credit Plus student my freshman year of high school.
Okay.
And I had asked my advisor at the high school, I said, I saw there was an ASL class.
Okay.
So American Sign Language. And I had asked, would this count as a foreign language? And she said yes.
Huh.
So I had started going in person to the college to do sign language classes.
Wow.
And I was so happy to pick that back up because it was something I already had a little bit of background on.
Right.
And it was just a kind of a way that God had brought it back into my life. He knew like I needed that.
Right.
And he brought it back full swing. And I've taken 3 years of sign language at the college now. My professor, I love her. She really showed me why I love sign language so much. She had, instead of just having it be a sign language class where you learn sign language, she gave us out of class experiences. They were optional, but of course everyone wanted to go to them.
Right.
There were deaf game nights, deaf ASL concerts where we'd do songs.
Wow.
We had deaf grocery nights where we would pretend like we're shopping. So we had a lot, and she involved us so well with the deaf community, and she knew a lot of people that were deaf. So it was really cool to just have that experience. And then, of course, over this past year, I started to get into pageants and
Looking to grow your business beyond 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus? What I want you to do is go download this book. The title is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. It will help you grow your business past 5, 6, and 7 figure. Go download the book today. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and download the book for absolutely free.
I couldn't sing or dance. So I felt, you know what, I'm going to do sign language for a song. So I jumped in, did that, and it's taken me here. And I really just want to show people that, like with my sign language, that you can learn and you can communicate with others too. It doesn't just have to be sign language. It can be through anything. Like if you have an interest in it, go pursue it. It doesn't matter how different it is or how hard you think it may be. I really just want to push people to go learn.
Right.
And communicate with as many people as you can. And through my sign language, I can do that. And I can stand behind a community I believe so strongly in.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, nowadays, you hear everybody, in the high schools and what between the drugs and the this and that.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are just doing the greatest stuff. And I mean, really, it's just like you have halos. I mean, America should have more of you. But it's like what you say, use it or lose it sort of thing. Nowadays with the internet, even if you don't know somebody who's deaf, I guarantee you there's some online chats or something where you can practice it with other people. I mean, so there's no excuses, people. I think that's awesome. Yeah. You guys are amazing. So now, Kale, how is your personal experience, particularly with your mother's struggle with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome? How's that shaped your approach to writing and illustrating children's books?
Okay. So my mom, as far back as I can remember, has struggled with this. Well, with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, there's a lot of different symptoms, but really from what I can explain, your joints can come out of their sockets and stuff like that. She's allergic to pretty much all foods and stuff like that. She can only eat maybe 5 things. And she also struggles with something called a mast cell disorder that can make her get sick through just about anything. She can rise from normal to 104 fever just like that. And so yeah, that just that made my childhood sort of uncertain. I learned to never take a day for granted with her. And it instilled in me the values that you never know what another kid is going to have to go home to.
Yeah.
So don't make their day any harder from when you encounter them. Don't try and drag them down.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that once again just continues into my ideas of inclusion in my books. I just really want to make this world a more inclusive place where people can not only coexist but thrive and lift each other up.
Oh, it's amazing. And it is so true about, I love the sayings that you hear, just smile at people because you don't know what they're going through. And it is so true because, like I was telling you, I had written a book, Life's Obstacles Can Be Your Greatest Motivators, because I'm always happy and smiling. And people just think I'm just the greatest and happiest in the whole wide world. You have no idea the crap that I've gone through. I mean, it just really, it's insane. And just because I'm smiling doesn't mean that I went through anorexia, I went through bulimia, I had an abusive husband, put a gun in my mouth. I just had so much crap. And it's like, you would never know it just by looking or talking to me. So it's like, and even in school, I remember saying, oh, my parents were strict and I wish I lived in that house because they just seem like as you get older, that's not what goes on inside that house. The one kid committed suicide. I mean, there's just one was an alcoholic. You just have no clue what goes on. So I like the fact that you do try to include everybody and just be nice. I mean, that's just the end of the day. That's all we're here for. Just be nice. It's just not that hard to do. It costs nothing, but people just need a reality check on that. Yeah. So I guess, what are some of the key goals for Silent Opportunities in the coming year? And how can the community get involved in supporting your mission?
Yeah, I can start and then he can add on if needed.
Sure.
So some of our biggest goals are, like you said, just to help people, really just change lives. We want to get involved as much as possible. I know we've done quite a few podcasts, which have helped spread our message. We've opened up our fundraising to the people on podcasts, so hopefully they can help kind of get us a good base and to just help people. We do have a fundraiser coming up. Kale mentioned. I don't know when this is airing, but
we're going to air it soon. Yes, so, before the 14th.
Yes, so September 14th, which we're doing a family day where we'll have kids. And I'll be there in my sash and crown, and they can dress up and superheroes or princesses, and I'll get pictures with them, and we'll have a bunch of games, and it'll just be a really fun day, and people can donate, and that's how we're making a good portion of our money to hopefully give to somewhere. I know we eventually want to get money for a scholarship to help a student out that's going through a struggle, or maybe they have someone in their life that's going through a struggle that's caused them to struggle. So we really want to do so much, but we know it's going to take time, and it's not steps, and it's not just going to take us, it's going to take our community and people outside of our community. So we're really just taking our time and seeing where this can go, but we know every podcast is helping, and every fundraiser we do or flyer we hand out is going to help as well. So
I'm just even thinking too, of course I have the marketing brain. Well, one, we want to tell people you don't have to be in your local community. This could be anywhere to donate. And even just having, like merchandise, like shirts or, anything like that for people to buy, and just throwing stuff out there. But yeah. But anything you want to add to that, Kale?
I don't think we mentioned it's at the Mercer County Fairgrounds. Yep, we would like to do the scholarship idea, and we would also like to donate to the Ohio School for the Deaf to give more opportunities to them. Yep, just trying to give more outreach to those in our community and just give more opportunities to those that don't always have them.
Yeah, I mean, and it's, it's good to do all this stuff because there are people out there that maybe just never heard of this. And I know other people who've, funded college tuition and things like that because they heard about them. So we're going to spread the word about this to hopefully try to get you something good there. So I guess on all of that, can you share a story or moment that's been particularly meaningful in your journey with Silent Opportunities?
I think you have one. I'll hear you.
Okay.
This is as Silent Opportunities, but I think you should share it.
Okay. So just one thing that's driven me in the past few years, this was at my first book signing for my second book. It was about halfway done. I had a lot of friends and family come, but I really wasn't seeing the impact that I wanted, so to speak. And in that moment, I just sort of just silently said, God, why did you have me make this if I wasn't gonna succeed in the way that I needed? And about 5 minutes later, the door opens and in walked a 12-year-old girl with special needs. And she had her dad with her and her younger sister who did not have special needs. And I immediately noticed a difference in how her dad treated her compared to her so-called normal sister. And immediately when she sees me, she walks right up to my table and just starts talking to me. She has no idea who I am. And once her dad sees this, he pulls up a chair next to my table, sets her down, and walks away with his other daughter. And me and her sat there and talked for maybe about 20 minutes. And I said maybe 3 words the whole time. She just really wanted somebody to listen to her. And my heart was breaking at this time because so many people out there were never going to get to see this beautiful personality that she had because they couldn't get past what they saw with their own 2 eyes. And her dad came and got her, said it was time to go. And the last thing she said to me was, maybe one day you'll write a story about me. And yeah, those words have just stuck in my mind all the time since that day. And yeah, that's really just instilled these values in me. I just think about that all the time, trying to make a difference for people like her. And yep, that's really driven us forward.
I mean, I always love when people will say, I have a plan, I'm going to do it this way, this is how it's supposed to be, and God always says, yeah, that's cool, I'm going to show you how it's done. It doesn't matter what we think or how we think it goes. So while things might not seem like we're doing it right, or that this is how it's supposed to be, we all have one purpose here in life, and we don't know what it is, but He knows, and you're doing it. I mean, all we have to do is be happy and be kind to one another. That's it. It's not hard, but it is a shame how people, whether you're heavy or you can't speak, or you have some sort of disability, you're just looked on as, like the outcast. And it's a shame. We're all unique. We're all different. And like I said, you can have the most beautiful face, most beautiful body, the greatest job in the whole wide world. But I love people who are like that. And then I ask them, are you happy? They're not. So it doesn't mean that you're perfect. We all have our own unique gift in the world. And I mean, it's great that you guys are trying to, really, because I mean, people like that, they need somebody. Because like you said, here's a father who probably didn't intentionally want to outcast his kid, but you really were, and maybe you need that outside person to let you know it's okay. We're here, and like I said, you can have a family of 20 kids and nobody has time for one another, but then you have your little small community of friends, who are there for you. So it doesn't mean you're blood related, but you still need that advocate and that love from somebody in the world. So I think that's just amazing. So I guess, like, what advice would you give to other young people who are passionate about making a difference in their community, especially those who want to start their own initiative?
I would say go for it. You only get this life once, and it might sound cliche to say that, but
it's true though.
I didn't expect to be where I'm at today, having the voice or initiative I do. And I always say, of course, God has a plan, and I would never take anything back or change anything about my life. But I always wish I would have started younger. And like, imagine if I would have had a couple more years on my back, just knowing the difference I wanted to make, I would have changed so many more lives. And I know I still have a chance to change so many lives, but start now. There's not going to be a better time than when you think of making a difference. And the younger your mind is, the more imagination you have. Right. So use that to your advantage. I mean, I always dreamed of being a princess or little girls.
Kind of are. You have the crown.
Yeah. And I used to look at what I am now when I was little and be like, oh, I would love to be that. And now I'm that. So just keep dreaming. You never know what'll happen or what God has planned for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've known so many people who they want to do stuff, and the parents are always like, no. You got it. It's crazy because even when my kids were growing up, whatever they wanted to be, funded the college and blah, 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 and they bought all the equipment and all that. And everybody was like, they're really going to do that? I'm not going to rain on their parade. If that's what their passion is, I'll support you. Never amounted to much, but I'll support you because you don't ever want to stomp on someone's dreams. You have to see for yourself, whether it's for you, it's not for you, whatever the case may be. And no matter what situation happens in life, it helps you to grow to be who you are, so I think that's great. Now, anything else you want to add?
Well, along with that, I'd say always be open to trying new things. I had it set in my mind that I was good at art and that was what I was going to stick with. And then when I was 15, God kind of hit me over the head, said, no, you can do this too. And I'll be honest, I drug my heels every step of the way, but he just kept pushing me. And, now I have this thing that I wouldn't trade for the world, and I love it so much. And for those out there trying to make a difference, you don't have to have this spontaneous, huge outreach. If you can make a difference in one person's life, then that is true success.
For sure. Absolutely. And I guess, so you mentioned where your fundraiser is going to be, and people can actually donate and whatnot off of the website, which I'll post on here as well. Right?
Yeah.
So how else can people get a hold of you or learn more about you guys?
We have a Silent Opportunities Facebook page, and our website is good. And that's.
You can find out any information about us on there.
Yeah.
About what we stand for and our organization. So that has everything.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for being on the show. Again, that was Kale Sudhoff and Allie Gray. So thanks for listening to Successful Minds with Patty B. Never miss an episode by subscribing. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Hey, we all want to scale our business. Hey, I have the answer for you today to help you do that. If you're looking to scale from 5, 6, even 7 figures and beyond, book called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. I'm going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is type in growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and you can download the book for absolutely free. I hope the book helps you this year. Take your business to the next level. Again, go grab the book, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. I wish you the best and grow, scale, and win.
Thank you for listening to Successful Minds with your host, Patricia Barnowski-Schneider. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we'll see you on the next episode.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear